I had some like 20K months. It was including like a full-time salary.
Yeah.
But then I felt like I was working like 3 jobs, and I just felt like I had like 3-4 bosses. And then
Okay, and then what made you want to start working with like us specifically, or like I guess what was like the main selling point? Like what made you want to like jump, I guess?
like, to be fair, you guys were like the first agency ad that ever got into my algorithm and I clicked on, and then Eric just got lucky and closed me based off that.
Oh, so you left them and then you started freelance. What were you freelancing? Just random gigs?
I thought that I would have to grind this out for at least like a year of when I started seeing traction.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things I learned from the program was that
What was like the hardest challenge that you faced in this journey?
I'm like, Cole, I don't really know how to run ads. How can I run ads for my clients or justify the ad spend?
Yeah.
And then after my ads popped off, I got more confident, closed more deals.
All right, John, first question I'm going to ask you. What was your business like before we started working together? Like, I guess tell them about like where you were like with SaaS and like a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, before we started working together, I was still sort of like a freelancer. I didn't even really know what like an agency was. So when your closer closed me, I was just pretty much, I had some like 20K months. It was including like a full-time salary.
Yeah.
But then I felt like I was working like 3 jobs, and I just felt like I had like 3-4 bosses. And then I essentially hit like a ceiling on what I was doing, and I wasn't really happy. It was custom work for like everybody. So yeah, that's where I was, and I wanted something new, but then couldn't do a startup again, which is like SaaS, because I needed like cash flow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just looking for something new, and then that's when I met like your closer, and then he introduced me to an agency, and then met you.
So like you didn't even know what an agency was. He was basically like, your income won't be capped anymore if you start an agency. Like you can land as many clients as you want.
Yeah. Essentially, and also I could delegate the work.
Okay, and then what made you want to start working with like us specifically, or like I guess what was like the main selling point? Like what made you want to like jump, I guess?
I mean, we're gonna clip and cut certain parts, right?
Yeah.
Because my honest answer is that I was the first agency call that that like I ever took. You guys were. So it was kind of luck. So yeah, like to be fair, you guys were like the first agency ad that ever got into my algorithm and I clicked on, and then Eric just got lucky and closed me based off that.
You got lucky?
Yeah.
But what like, I guess what made you want to even click on the ad? Like, were you like out there like, what's an agency? Like, I want to start an agency, or was it like, oh, this seems cool? Like, or...
it was one of your older offers, the 200K revenue guaranteed. So I don't think I would have clicked on like 10 clients guaranteed, because as a freelancer, I didn't even view myself with the authority that I could like view someone as my client. I only saw employers, so I wouldn't have clicked on that ad. But with the revenue guarantee, that made me interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's like, could you give a little more context on like what were you actually? So like, I know you come from like a SaaS background. Like, were you like right before you joined? Were you like co-founding that SaaS startup?
I was a founding team member, so I joined it like pre-revenue, and then I actually joined as like an engineer. I was a computer science major in school. I know how to code and all that stuff. But then we weren't making revenue, so I decided to learn how to do like HubSpot, the CRM, how to market, how to do sales. I got some of my business acumen from there. But at the end of the day, a startup, the cash, it was barely more than like corporate salaries. So then I left for a while to do corporate and freelance.
Oh, so you left them and then you started freelance. What were you freelancing? Just random gigs?
Or like marketing automation. So also basically the skill set that I learned from there. So it was related to basically like automating for like ads, email.
They were all like custom build outs. Like you'd have the market hire or like Upwork or like something like that. They'd like hire you and they'd be like, I want this done. I want this done. I want this done. And then you like go custom do it.
No, I just went down applying for like contractor roles and stuff on LinkedIn, stuff like that. Or I would ask friends like if they wanted gigs, give me $1 to $2 grand a month, stuff like that.
Would it be like retainers or just like that's one flat fee?
I try to do retainers, but I also didn't have the skill set back then. Like, I mean, as like a business and salesperson.
Yeah.
So then even if it was a retainer, it was 1 to 2 months at most. Yeah. And then I got dropped.
So like you wanted to go agency because you were basically like, you could get clients, but like they wouldn't retain. Like it was like, it wasn't scalable. Like you were capping, you were working like a bunch of jobs. Like you didn't feel like a business owner, you were just working jobs.
Yeah, exactly. It was flipped the way around I wanted it. I didn't have like authority.
Yeah. It honestly took us like longer than we wanted it to for you to like see the success that like you saw now. So like what was the first big win or shift that you experienced after we started like working together?
I think it's when I closed my first couple of retainers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you say about like the money duplication glitch thing where once we figure out something, all we have to do is copy paste it over and over.
Yeah.
So it's it's really interesting because I never really had that ideal goal like 10K per month.
Yeah.
I simply fluctuated between like 7 to 9 doing custom work for each person.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I got to like 15 to 17K for like 2 months.
Yeah.
That's when, due to fulfillment, I had to pause a little bit. And then right after that, we just did the 52K month.
Yeah.
So I never really had that phase where I was stuck at 10 or 20K like most other people did. I just simply did what you said about, putting in the work, the boring stuff, and then scaling up from there.
Exactly. So was it like right when you saw that like first when it's like, oh wait, shit, like it's like actually like it's like kind of possible to do it. Like not that like we thought it wasn't like, or you thought it like wasn't possible, but it's like once it hits your bank account and once somebody's actually paying you after you've never like met them from like an ad sales process, they watch your VSL, they show up to the sales call and they pay you, then it's just like, well shit, like this is actually real. Like I can actually make some money off of this.
Yeah, I mean the goal was always to make myself something like 20K per month take home
without like working a bunch, right?
Yeah, like just doing like CEO stuff.
Yeah.
I always thought it was possible. It was just a matter of I didn't think it would happen this quickly. I didn't think that once you find, I guess what like the tech bros call like product market fit, you can just like 2 to 3x volume and repeat the same thing. So I thought that I would have to grind this out for at least like a year of when I started seeing traction.
Yeah.
But once I saw traction and I just did what you said, it was actually only like 3-4 months.
Yeah, and that's like a lot of people will see like spend a bunch of fucking money on ads, and like that's something we didn't even do. Like it's not like we were like for other clients like want to spend like 300, 400, 500 a day and like just honestly like waste ad spend. But to me with you it was like, okay, let's find something that works, and then when it does work, we'll just deploy all of our cash there. You know, when it's like actually giving us the ROAS. But what do you think were like some specific like strategies or like pivotal like changes that we made for you to see the success that you did like so quickly?
I think one of the biggest things I learned from the program was that I used to think stuff like, the website or a bunch of, small details that most marketers really try to scale up on like mattered.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, you showed that sometimes just the booking page mattered, the creative, just like the offer is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And then that's the same thing that we teach our own clients now.
Yeah.
Like those are the real needle movers. So then I would definitely say that's where I began, and that's what I teach everybody else as well.
No, for sure. It's so easy to just be like, to like want to make a pretty website, or like you'll even see like all the top guys, like they don't like, if you like go to your industry, they don't even have a website. They just got like a funnel with like some of them got like a Trustpilot page, and like it's like if we reverse engineer like what we actually need to do before the sales calls happens and to like really convert a client, like the website's not involved. It's like, why do we need a website? So they trust us. We can just put that in the VSL or show proof in the sales call like we did. But
but it's funny because I don't even have a VSL. But I have a 90% show rate.
I honestly don't even know how that one happened. But I guess what was like the hardest challenge that you faced in this journey, right? Like 8 months, like I guess, and like how did we go about tackling it together?
I guess it was really being able to accept feedback even though I haven't seen the proof yet. Actually, for this one, I got to think about it for a second. But remember, I wasn't doing SaaS until maybe like halfway through. You were also telling me to just do like local business.
I think it might have just been just dialing something in and like figuring out like what actually like we could leverage your skill set with. Because then once we switched to SaaS, it was like relatively pretty quick growth.
And I was also doing email marketing, which is what I scaled my own SaaS with. But now I'm like more of a paid ads expert. So it's pretty crazy how that all shifted. So I guess it would still be kind of like what I originally said. Like I had to see it to believe it. Like, you know what Hormozy said about like, he would say something like build evidence, not confidence. So, I bug you so much about like, I'm like, fuck hole. I don't really know how to run ads. How can I run ads for my clients who justify the ad spend? And then after my ads popped off, I got more confident, closed more deals. A couple of clients got results. And then now I just stopped selling email and I only sell ads. Paid ads, and the clients are all getting results as well. And then I found a team around me that are like just like a couple rock stars, not like a bunch of VAs and entry-level talent that are like half-assed. So I definitely think that it really was just about the grind and like seeing it to believe it.
It's just like we were talking about earlier. Once it hits your bank account, it's a whole different feeling. It's like, again, the same, like we sound like we're beating on a drum, but it's like we just test different things and then it works, and then we do more of the thing until like it works really well. But I guess, how did it feel to go from 0 to 52 a month, like with the actual business, and like success meant for you, your life, and like compared to the freelancing? Because you were making money before.
So I guess I was never like financially insanely struggling, but the analogy that I would make to some of my friends sometimes is it's kind of like if you played the board game like Catan. And then, but when you're the guy where any board game and you have all the resources at the end, you could do whatever you want. So I would definitely say that like now that after I hit 15 for the first time, I realized like, wow, I could delegate this work to someone else and make a decent hire. I could ramp up ad spend, pay for XYZ. And then it's the same own freedom for my own life. And then all of these things, just like how I was mentioning, I need to see things to believe things. They started snowballing my confidence, the business, everything like that. So yeah, it's really just taking things one step at a time.
No, yeah, for sure. And it feels so like unreal and slow, but long growth, like at the same time. But like, I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like just taking yourself from like somebody just like doing the work itself to being able to like take a step back, like take the emotion out of it. And now like if you wanted to, like I think you're now at the point of like if you wanted to go on vacation for like a week and like you would be fine. Like you'd probably have to take a call a day, 2 calls a day or something like that, but you would survive, you know? Like
yeah, totally.
And make money still. And like it wouldn't be like a huge pain to the business. But what advice would you give to other agency owners? Because obviously there's a lot of people that like stuck at 0, 10, probably between like 5 and 10K a month. Like would you give to other agency owners, like I said, that are stuck trying to scale?
I think that the agency space is one in particular where people, they want to move extra fast. Like they don't have the skill sets, the accolades, or experience. So I think one of the pivotal moments is when you told me to just take like $2,000 down payment. And then, you know, when I wasn't really good at paid ads yet. And then I did a couple of those, I built my confidence. And now, you know, even for some deals, collecting like $5,000, it's like no big deal at all. So genuinely, I was even telling you earlier today that I don't know like what changed. My pitch is the same, my like creatives and everything. At the end of the day, I think it's just like the entrepreneur's intensity. So I truly believe that some people don't rush it. You don't have the experience yet or the portfolio. And once you get there, you naturally could charge like 2-3 times what you ideally want to charge.
It's like, you're so right, because like people are out here trying to like, when I first started my agency, I was like in solar and I was like, I'm going to charge 2K a month. I had no fucking clue what I was going to give them, but they're going to pay me 2K. And it's like, like your client has to be able to make more money than they're paying you or they're going to cancel. And I think with what you're saying about like how much like we started at 2K, because like that was the amount of value we were bringing at the time. And then we're bringing 3 and we're charging 3. Then now we're bringing 4 and now we're bringing 5 and then we're going to 6. And it's like, I think the reason why you have no problem slapping the deal still is because you literally just are more convicted. You were like, when you get to the point in like objection handling or sales, when you're like, you should buy this because if you don't, you're dumb, because it'll make you more money. And you can just be like, have the confidence to be like, I don't know what else to tell you. Not like you're actually saying that, but just have like that energy about you. Cause like people always say people are going to buy from the people like trust and like, if you can have that energy about yourself on call, like you'll be able to sell 10 times higher. But I guess a few more questions for you, like 2 more. One, for someone on the fence working with us, like they don't know if they should do it or not. Like, I guess what would be your advice to them and what would you say to them?
I guess it would just like move forward and just do it, because honestly, I have been in like one other program, just for like about a month. But then the difference is that you didn't pass me off to any like CSM. You always responded. I remember even when I wasn't paying you much, you still would be answering me in the airport when I wasn't getting results, as if I was like the same value as like your other 50K per month clients now. So then it's just like you say in your ads, basically they work with you one-on-one, they get the attention, you're always responsive and you treat everyone the same. So that's how I view that you're different.
For sure. I appreciate that. And I guess last thing, now that you've hit 50, like you hit what, 52? What was like the final mark last month, by the way?
Like 51.6, something like that. Yeah.
52.
Yeah, 52.
So you hit 52. Like what's next steps? I guess what are next steps for you, the business? Like where do you want to be? Because like even KC will tell me all the time, like what type of business do you want to build? Like are we going, like you're getting the closer, and like I guess what's your plan there?
I mean, he's already closing and doing a good job.
He closed on today?
Oh yeah. He collected 8.3. Like I even started factoring the Stripe fees. So that was a little raise in itself.
Oh, you started charging Stripe fees?
Oh yeah. Like I put it on top. To account for it. So yeah, I mean, he closed 2. A couple more will come in next week. He's already like meeting quota, being as good as me, and I'm sure he's gonna get better. Because
how old is he?
It's because it's week 1. He's 26. No, 27 now.
You said he had the blazer on though?
He wears a blazer, full on beard. Like, I mean, he might watch this. So but
he's a G.
Yeah. He's great.
But I guess, what is next step for you?
Yeah, honestly, it's straight like to 100K a month. I really think that it's doable, because now I'm gonna make fulfillment even better in the next quarter. I was doing sales only part-time too when I hit the 52, and I'm not a sales background person. So now that I have a guy 40 hours a week doing sales calls, I really think that we should be 2xing, or we're just doing something wrong. So
100%. Like especially with him charging more, like there's no reason that it shouldn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, John.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure, bro. And I'm proud of you, G.
Yeah. I appreciate you, man.